Hey, okay, I'm probably live now. Just want to make sure. So anyway, welcome back to the this Thursday evening uh, edition of Caribou Data Science Show. Tonight we're going to take a look at other rather sober subject, and that is we're going to take a look at death rates, overdose death rates by 6 or 8 different types of drug use. Okay. Let me come over here first, get the old thing up here. Now, of course, we're going to make it more interesting this evening by, rather than using RStudio or VS Code, we're going to use Emacs to write the code. And then we're going to split the screen Emacs with the code at the top. Then we're going to run the Quarto render command in the window below. Okay. So this is all going to be in good fun. Even though obviously we're dealing with a very serious subject tonight, which is kind of unusual for me. But there we are. Let's pop out our thing here. Now, of course, interesting enough, Emacs does in fact have an R mode, an R package that allows us to run R code. Okay, but we're not going to do that tonight. Of course, we'll come up here with a little bit of ChatGPT action going on here. Okay, so let's open up. Here's our Emacs session. So our code's going to be at the top. OD rates Quattro. And down here is our shell where we're going to run the Quattro at. Okay, let's just make sure that. Oh, that's not good. Interesting. Okay. Now the trouble is, we apparently can't do a. What if we do a Control L? Control. And as always, be sure to click that subscribe button for us. We're within 40,000 of reaching that 15,000 subscribe mark. So if you haven't subscribed so far, by all means, drop by the chat session and say hi, and also click that subscribe button for me this evening. Let's take a quick look at our data. So you can see we got code year. Now the question is just okay. So this is going to be simple. We're only looking at U.S. death rates. Okay. In the year 1990 to 2020, so this day is a little old, but that's okay, because you can see here, let's change this to death rates. So there's our data there. These are all percentage of deaths. Let's close this. Let's come back up here. Oh, we're using what? We're using Emacs, so therefore that means we have to use Vim key bindings, right? Then we're going to come down here, we're going to say T, format HTML, right? Format, false, true. Then we come down here. Now what's curious about this, and I can't figure out why it is, okay? it it's putting in 4 backticks when I type 3. Library TIDY. Okay. See, I hit it 3 times, and it gives me. So let's just try something here. See what happens here. Quarto. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to do a quick change here. I'm going to pull this up in RStudio. I should know better. Let's go over here. Let's create a new project. I'll work on the Emacs for the next time around. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure why it's doing what it's doing. Basically, okay. So the question is, will this run? Oh, it could be that. Oh, you know, part of the trouble is, I didn't close the bracket off. So let's come down here, and that's reading the data. I made a couple mistakes in the original document, right? I put brackets rather than curly brackets, so therefore it wouldn't recognize the code. All right, but that's okay. Let's see. Let's just call this DF for short. Excel. Death rates. Okay. Opioid deaths. And what we can do is, since there's only one country, right? We can drop the code in the entity column just to make it a little cleaner, right? Prescription opioids, opioid rate, cocaine rate, heroin rate, synthetic opioids, prescription opioids, okay? So what's the first thing we can do? We could just do very basic plots. Let's just do a plot. Again, this is a very simple equals year comma y equals opioid death rate well, so this is a rather sobering let's come back up here and let's set theme classic. So this will set the theme for the entire thing. Okay. Except there's no grid lines, is there? That's kind of strange. Interesting. Light draw. WIT line let's go over here. Let's look at orientations, stat. Am I misspelling line width? Let's ask ChatGPT what's wrong with this. Well, let's see what this does for us then. A little bit too wide. Maybe 2. That's good enough. Let's go over here. There we go. So between 2000 or 1990 and 2000, deaths from opioids has gone up over 25%. Okay. So let's just come down. Let's just come down here. Let's just go ahead and begin by importing all these deaths here. Okay. I'll just mention what's going to happen here because I have a single. If you have 1, 2, or 3 hashtags, it's going to treat it as a table of contents, and you actually get a clickable table of contents in the final document. Okay, so go over here. Cocaine rate. Oh, that's not right. Oh, shoot. Down here. Cocaine rate. Didn't spell cocaine right, did I? Okay. You know, you have to admit, these are some really sobering numbers, aren't they? I mean, it's really sobering. H-E-R. Well, what's this? What used to be the slang for heroin? Was it smack, or was that something else? What the heck is Hershey? Well, this is good news. We have seen a decline in the death rate for heroin. Which shouldn't be necessary. Heroin, it seems to me, tends to come in and out of favor. Okay. How come you didn't tell me I was spelling the percent wrong? So the death rate from synthetic opioids has just skyrocketed since like about 2010 to 2015. It's skyrocketed, hasn't it? No, like I said, this is a very simple data set, it's also a very sobering data set, isn't it? I mean, you look, it's like, well, we may be making progress in saving people from dying from overdose. Unfortunately, uh, the number of percentage is still climbing. Although supposedly, I saw an article just the other day. It said that deaths from overdose from drug use has declined by something like 10, 20, or 30,000 people over the last 4 years. So it's a bit of good news, I guess. Prescription opioids is kind of interesting. So let's just come down here. And let's add, we'll copy this. what is this? Suppose we say fill. Now the question is, can we take this and do a pivot? The idea is to have one row for each year for each column, okay? So let's just try this real quick. No pivot longer. Let's just come over here for a second, shall we? Come, come, come. Don't be bashful. Stop by the chat session and say hi, okay? Because what this allows, this will allow us to create one final plot. And that final plot is going to be a single plot with every opioid, every drug cause of death listed on a single plot rather than individual plots, okay? So we got that, right? So what can we do? All right. Now the fun begins. Okay, there's a couple things we can actually do here. We could actually use the facet wrap problem to create a separate plot for each drug. We've already done that. What we want is right, and we want to say rate y equals group it's going to be something like this. Okay, good. So, what do you want to do here? You know, I still say that R is much better for doing data analytics in Python. It's much, the code is much easier, you know? So what do? We did color, right? Title, death rate. That's interesting. That's interesting. Uh, huh. Because I was looking for a rate and all these, oh, look at this up here. Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. Let's come back up here. Let's do this. New name. Better yet, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to open up the code in Excel and fix it that way, okay? Because the trouble was these two here don't have rates associated with them. All right. Now it's also kind of odd to use the Go sub. They should have been able to use something in tidyverse like a you know, like a now here's all of our drug deaths. Okay. The biggest increase is opioids, followed by synthetic opioids. Interesting. Let's go over here. Can we save image as? And let's leave this right here for YouTube to see and use it, maybe use as their oh, okay, right. What's wrong? We have to come back up here. You know, sometimes it's just easier to go to go back, right? And just fix the problem in Excel, okay? I mean, we could have done we could have done you know, rename. What's the point? Yeah, it's only two columns, right? Okay, so here is our here's our uh, table of contents. Okay, right? And here's our combination. We need to come back over here then. Let's do this again. Now come. I know some of you people are there in the background. So if you're an R fan, by all means, you know, stop by the chat. You know, drop me a like, drop me a subscribe, and I'll be sure to continue to do even more. So here's a combined S now. And again, the sad news is opioids just continue to climb dramatically. Okay, followed by synthetic opioids. It's interesting after prescription opioids and these other two down, heroin and cocaine. That's opioid, right? Prescription opioids. That's heroin, and that's cocaine. Now, I suppose cocaine probably doesn't have a high death rate, which probably makes it a very good street drug because you don't have to worry about your customer dying. Okay. Anyway, there you have it. Very simple example of how to analyze a data set from our world in data. Be sure to click that subscribe button. The bell icon will be notified when I go live again. It'll probably be Sunday evening. More R programming. Okay, more R programming, more R data and world data. Or maybe more data from Kaggle, okay? But anyway, thanks so much for stopping by. Subscribe, and click the like button and the bell icon, okay?